Hello everyone, it is Jebro, and today we're going to be talking about the Shortbow Engineer. It's the weapon beta until December the 3rd, and I'm running with an Engineer Shortbow. We're running with a Norn, so I can basically show you the animations and stuff so you can see them. Going with a Machinist Shortbow as well, which is one of the newer Shortbows, came with Halloween, which is very, very cool. If you want to see the build, this is the build right here. It's just quickness scrapper. It's with celestial stats because I can't be bothered to change them because it just takes time and I don't have time. And I thought I would just try and go with what I could very quickly to give you a first impressions. It's not really about making the best build or anything. This is just a DPS scrapper build with quickness, standard kind of thing you use during raids, fractals, whatever. And yeah, it's got a bit of healing, got a bit of all the stats on it. And it's more about showing you the actual bow itself and what it does. Now, all of these skills below are all placeholder. I mean, you know, if you want to have that, I don't think that would be very cool to look at, but you know, it's not that bad. It's just like men at work, isn't it? So Shortbow, it looks on the Engineer, there are some great Shortbow skins as well, so I might do a little bit of a feature of that. Most Engineer-esque Shortbow skills. Anyway, the first skill is called Arc Detonator. You fire an arrow equipped with an electric module that discharges when striking your target, shocking them when two nearby enemies with an electric blast that inflicts weakness. So weakness as well as a nice little bit of vulnerability as well as some damage. And you can use that whilst you're running around. So if we go and hit a target here, not bad damage, bit of vulnerability, bish bash bosh, not too bad at all. Lots of vulnerability stacking, honestly, as well. Not bad, looks good. You know, it just looks like a Shortbow skill. You know, there's nothing really like different about that. The animation is there, it's been around, but lots of vulnerability, getting a bit of bleeding there as well because of the nature of everything in the build. Second skill is going to be Essence of Animated Sound. Now, you may have known about all of these skills as well, but don't forget with these, there is a basic ability and then there's the chain reaction as well. So while active, detonates other chain reaction skills in range. They additionally grant bonus barrier to allies on initial detonation. Now, that is the chain reaction when you hit the skill again. So like with blast mine, for example, sorry, throw mine, you've got the throw mine and then you've got the detonate. It's very similar to that, but these fields all interact with each other. So this is very cool, and I'm not going to be able to give you all of the details and all the cool combos you can get right now because this is a very quick overview. The first one is Essence of Animated Sand. Now, you've got an idea of what that does. Sand in Guild Wars 2 on Scourge, for example, is going to give you barrier. So you've got the barrier arrow, whatever arrow it's called, down in the ground here. You activate it again, and boom, you've got a nice tidy little bit of barrier right there. Don't forget, eat scales of healing power. But let's have a look as well. With payload that spreads enchanted sand across the ground when detonated, granting barrier to allies on initial detonation and inflicting conditions on enemies per pulse. So it gives you a cripple. Also is a combo finisher blast, and it tells you the pulses and also tells you the barrier as well there, which is all very lovely. Very good animation, you know, and bonus, you are not going to be standing still with this. This is good. This is good times. Okay. Wonderful. Now don't forget as well, you're not going to be getting... Alright, let's put that out again. You get a tiny bit of barrier from when you activate it, but it's not a lot, okay? So when you get the barrier, the main bulk of barrier, that's when you're standing in it. So it's a support weapon. That's what the Shortbow is, okay? Let's see how much, where are they? Let's see how much damage we actually do with this as well. Do we do any damage? A little bit. There's a little bit of detonation damage there as well. Okay, but of course, don't forget, while active, detonates other chain reaction skills in range. So for example, if I put down my third skill, my fourth skill, and I put down my second ability as well, boom, and activate it, activates all of those as well. And it will, of course, when we're actually in the area, give us those effects. You saw Might there, so we're going to get to that one. But that's not yet. Not yet. Essence of Living Shadows. So you're going to get an idea of the kind of combo field that is. It is a dark field. What is a dark field, you may ask? Now, I keep forgetting, so I had to look this up because I always forget specifically. I don't forget, I just like to have an idea. But you know, it's blindness. If you blast it, if you leap through it, it's dark aura. And if you do a projectile through it, it is leeching, as well as leeching bots and well finishes. When you do a well finisher would be Shredder Gyro, for example. Always nice to double check. Yes, I know, Cat, you're there. Obviously, a darker aura as well reduces condition damage that comes into you as well. And gives out torment each time you're struck. That's if you combo blast that dark field, of course. So let's have a look. Dark field combo there. Fire and arrow equipped with a device that spreads shadow magic across the ground when detonated, applying conditions on enemies and removing conditions from allies with the initial detonation and healing allies with each pulse after. So it does extra stuff. It's not just about field on the ground. Going to give weakness and blindness to your enemies, as well as giving yourself a bit of healing and condition removal. Now, condition removal are free conditions. That is pretty cool. Let's see what else we do here. Now, there's nothing. That's just the field there. And obviously, we're not going to know about the conditions removed because we got no conditions on us. So let's get a couple of conditions on us from this cheeky little red ooze. If it's actually going to do that. Dude, hit me. Hit me a little bit. Fine. It's not fire anymore. Are you serious? All of these creatures are just rubbish at getting in Doom? Come on. No conditions. That's fine. There you go. Remove the immobilize. Lovely, lovely. Wicked. We got the weakness on the enemy as well, so you did see that coming off. So don't forget weakness and blindness as well. Not bad, not bad. Chain reaction while active detonates other chain reaction skills in range. They additionally heal allies with each pulse. So if you put down, for example, I'm assuming this is how it works. You put down the sands, you put down the heal there. If you are here, it will give you a little bit of barrier, but it will also heal you as well. Now, it gave me the maximum amount of barrier from this. So in the trailers and everything else, it says it gives you a smaller amount depending on which one you chain trigger or whichever you chain reacts. But I just got the full effect there. So that's going to be very interesting. Now, if they're on top of each other again, that's a big one. That's a big one. That's 4K barrier right there on celestial stats. Like, Shortbow is going to be pretty good, but it's going to be fiddly. Like, you're going to have a lot of working out with this. There's going to be people are going to be coming out with this really easily at first. And of course, if I had a bunch of time, I would be testing it. And, you know, it really depends on the situation. If you're damaging and doing DPS and you're out there, you're probably going to be using things like this one more, which we're going to go on to next. Essence of Liquid Rough. So fire an arrow equipped with a payload that spreads magical flames across the ground when detonated, inflicting conditions on enemies and granting boons to allies on initial detonation. Now, of course, vulnerability is 10 stacks. Now, this is pretty nice because you could use that as an opener and then go into nades and then just smash away, because look how much vulnerability you got on that. 18 stacks. Like, this weapon is touted as support, but it can easily be like pretty damage specifically, especially like in a DPS support build. Now, when we say support, that's why I went for DPS quickness scrapper, because, you know, it's dishing out a lot of vulnerability there already. Oh my God. Did you see that? Did you see that? Whoa. Where did I get the other 10 stacks from? That couldn't have been right. That's interesting. All right, let's have a look here. So bash down, detonate. That pops off so quickly as well. That pops off so quickly. Don't forget, we've got quickness as well going off. All right. So in this build specifically, you're going to have some nice quickness off of combo fields. Boom. Don't forget, you want to be comboing those fields up. You want to be comboing with blasts, well finishes, whatever you've got. And that's going to be really nice. That's just an explosion, by the way. But don't forget, grenade barrage, which is why I had 20 stacks of vulnerability, was because that popped out as well, which is really, really nice. So let's keep going because this is just wicked. Look at the amount of might. You get 5 stacks there. So you're going to be stacking a lot of might with this on your team as well, in fractals, in whatever. There was 8. Whoa. 14 stacks of might in that short amount of time. And look at the duration there as well. That was pretty nice. Wow. That's a lot of might, actually. With the rest of the build that's coming out. I wonder if he could just end up like stacking this forever. And one thing that's cool, you got chaos armor in there as well, which is the 5th skill, sorry. But right, let's have a look at this as well, because this is going to be the condition damage. Whoops, sorry, that mob was really low. We got the burning, we got the bleeding, sorry. That was, sorry, the vulnerability. Where is the burning? Oh no, there is no burning. I think I just assumed it was burning because it was might. Like, it's just damage. And vulnerability. Like, vulnerability is the thing. It's very, very interesting. Oh, hello. Hello there. We got the scepter fur baby daddy. We got the scepter we got the scepter revenant right now as well, which is very interesting. Linked to me there. That's pretty cool. Okay, anyway, the 5th skill, fire an arrow, equipped with a device that envelops an area with chronal magic. When detonating, stunning enemies and applying super speed to allies on initial detonation. Now this is going to work very well with Scrapper because, not that one, where is it? Oh, I was thinking about the old trait. Do increase strike damage when you have stability, swiftness, or super speed. This damage increase compounds for each boon you have. That's really, really nice for Scrapper. Regenerate health while affected by swiftness or super speed. Really, really cool. Well, abilities have an increased area effect and grant super speed. So the super speed part is with Scrapper. Really, really nice. Movement speed. Getting everyone around. Regeneration for you. When you're affected by this as well, by super speed. So really, really, really nice. Just really, really cool. Like, it's going to work so well with this. And speed of synergy, using a heal skill grants super speed and radius around you using a heal skills, associated toolbit skills. There's so much super speed that comes out from Scrapper. I often forget, but there's even more now with the Shortbow. So if you wanted more super speed, you got it, baby. You got it all. It's all fine. Let's just put that down there as well. So you can set things up with like your mine as well, which is really, really nice with your thrown mine if you are going to be going with that Scrapper build. All in all, kind of excited. I'm excited to just kind of try all of the things out. It's going to be interesting to try and stack up as much barrier as physically possible as well, to be honest. And also just using things like wall finishes, thinking about those leaps as well, thinking about all the different things that come out with Engineer and how you're able to get yourself a little bit of extra damage. Like, wandering around, the one thing that is always interesting is running around with these new weapons, how they're going to just affect your gameplay running around. Like, this video isn't intended for me to just be like, you know, this is the build you're gonna run and this is the best thing you can do, la la la. This is me just giving you my first genuine authentic impressions of this and just be like, how does it play? How does it feel when you're doing it? Using abilities, how does it look? Are you having fun with it? Like, what's going on? Like, right now, not really making a lot of effort to be very, very tanky and survivable while also putting out some damage. Just in a like supportive DPS Scrapper build with real basic stats of Celestial. and it's exotic, it's nothing ridiculous, and look, I can just give myself a little bit of survival. So if you're a new player and you're playing this, like Shortbow is going to give you damage, it's going to give you survivability, healing, condition removal, it's going to give you some chaos armor if you really want to blast those fields, it's going to give you it's going to give you slow speed, movement speed as well. So if you're like running through and you're like, just, you know, you want to hit a little bit of movement speed, you use it with Scrapper, you're going to be able to get so much speed going through. You're really like this fast kind of rangery-esque kind of class. Like, it just feels pretty cool. Like, it feels pretty fun. Like, there's a lot of movement. You don't get stuck like this. You don't just get stuck. Like, even there, like, they could have just done it so that you got stuck in place for a second, like with the Guardian 5 longbow skill. But it's not. Like, you moving around as you're projecting, as you're putting out these fields. And the really, really cool thing is there's nothing like this in the game right now. Like, this whole thing, activating the field. Look at that. Look at that. That's cool. Did he just spread it? Kind of looked like it just spread the interesting. That's very cool. So what I did there was I put this first essence down. Now we activate it and we put the third arrow down. That activates off of that, and then you've got the next arrow AoE operates off of that. So you can chain these up. Oh wow, very cool. And the even better, the even more awesome thing about this is that this second arrow is your blast finisher as well. The others aren't. That actually is a defiance break bar as well because it's slow and the stun. That's so cool. How many stuns is it? Targets? It's 5 targets as well. What? Okay, this is kind of cool. So we're about to get a shed load of barrier right now. That's the 4K, right? Okay. Can stack it back up to 4K as well. That's pretty nice. The second skill is going to give us barrier and also... Wait, that's the wrong one there. Nice. And it just looks cool as well, right? It just looks wicked. Where is there's the dark field, and don't think that's a combo Firefield as well, so you can get extra might off of that. Interesting as well, because it's blue fire, like a Guardian's fire, I guess, which is really, really cool. It's not a standard kind of normal AoE Firefield, like a normal Firefield. It doesn't look like a Firefield. It's a very unique kind of Guardian Firefield. So this is all about taking the essence of other classes. If you remember the trailer and remember the other things, the text as well that came out with the article, that came out with the actual video on the official website. It was all about taking the energy and magical essence from other classes. So number 2 is obviously Necro. Number 3 is obviously... Wait, actually, what is that? Like Thief, I guess, or Mesmer, and then you've got the Firefield. Now you could say that's because of the blueness, that's Guardian, but you could also say, you know, Warrior, because, you know, Might and the Warrior and what that might be about, small Guardian. And then the 5th one is Borrow Time. Now I think that's more the Mesmer, actually, sorry. So that, because that's the ethereal one. So that's the Mesmer there. And you get the Chaos Armor off of that. So very, very, very cool. So Mesmer, Guardian, Thief, and then you've got Scourge from Necro. So different. So it's not necessarily. It's an elite specialization. And then the first skill gives you vulnerability. I mean, all in all, this is going to be very cool. I mean, I'm loving this being a stun. That's so wicked. I'm wondering what this is going to look like for enemies as well. If it's just going to look like a mark on the floor, like a Necro kind of mark. And there's been people if you're an enemy and you're running into these, like say in PvP or World v World, they'll look like a mark on the floor from a Necro Staff, I'm assuming. I'm very excited for this to come out because this is very cool as well. Just there's so much through it. It's just very cool how this works. You know, you've got the second ability there, which you pop out 2, 3, 4, 5. And then when you use this first one, it just triggers all of them in a line. It just looks cool as well. I'm sorry, it just does. It just looks wicked. Like, and they're not really long cooldowns as well. And each one can trigger the next as well. Just working out what you need at the time. It's like, do I need more barrier? Do I need more removal of conditions or whatever? Like, do I need more, you know, or whatever that's going to be? Because when not allowed to detonate average, additionally heal allies with each pulse. So it tells you the additional thing it does. They additionally grant bonus barrier. So it's like 1.6k and then it was like 4k over the other 3, wasn't it? Something like that. So you could work out the actual amount probably, as it tells you kind of in there anyway. But this gives extra healing. This gives extra boons, so it's just going to be the might and not the extra vulnerability probably. And then this gives additional conditions on each pulse as well, on the extra reactions. So the initial thing is the first thing of the base, and then the chain reaction, which is the activated thing, is in combination with the other fields or the other areas or whatever we're calling it. The essence area is the additional bit as well. So it's going to take a big used to the language and the getting used to, because obviously in Guild Wars 2 we've already got so much different language for all the skills and that's going on already. But this is new. Like, this is kind of, it feels kind of new techie-esque, but they've used kind of combo field interactions between these fields because each one activates another, because it's not like these are active. They trigger each one, and there's not really anything like that in the game. It's very cool. It's very cool. Very unique as well. I don't forget we got lightning field there. Is that a lightning field? No, sorry, it's the ethereal field. I'm really excited for this. I'm really excited for this, and I am excited to check all the other weapons out. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. If I don't stop talking, I'm just gonna you know, and continue my keenness about how awesome this feels and how excited I am. So you take care, and let me know your thoughts on Engineer Shortbow, and if you want me to check any more out and put the videos up before the end of the beta. I've been Jebro. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It really helps the algorithm. Check out the Lightbringers podcast as well, and I am your main engineer on YouTube and the Twitches and all the other things. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye for now.